Welcome back, everybody, to the ECC. We are now here for our fourth and final series of the day. It is Ascension, Trinity, and Morekats Gaming. This one is huge, can pretty much decide who makes playoffs and who doesn't out of both these teams. And we're going to see what this upcoming match will bring for us. Of course, it is me, Faded, again, and joining me on the desk this time, coming back from earlier, is Dennis. And we have got quite the match on our hands here, don't we?
Well, definitely we do. We are seeing Ascension Trinity, of course, the OG's Ascension. We see Jazz playing in that team, and they have to play against Morekats Gaming. And when we talk about the impact of this game, well, we see the 5th against the 6th team of course, this Champions Conference too. And top 4, of course, will make the playoffs, and both of these teams can make playoffs. Well, one of these teams actually will make playoffs. One of these teams will make playoffs when they win. So this is a match. This is one hell of a match. I've talked about the impact of this match, but it is incredibly big for both of these teams. Both teams really want to win it, and well, for Ascension Trinity and both for both Ascension Trinity and Morekats Gaming, all they gotta do here is, of course, win. Both are 4-4 in the league at the moment, dead even, and yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see who's going to take a while to go to playoffs.
Yeah, indeed. Now I want to talk about some playoff scenarios before we get into it, because I did some research. Because what I discovered is that there's actually 3 teams in contention to make it into the playoffs. Trinitas is not one of them. They cannot maintain 4th position, even though they're there right now. Ascension, Trinity, and Morekats are 2 of those teams. The Storm actually can technically make it to playoffs, but they have to have some very, very specific stars go their way. So I'm going to quickly run through them. So, of course, for Ascension Trinity to get in, they just need to win, and that's about it. Morekats can get in if they win and the Storm also loses their next game. However, if the Storm also wins their game, then Morekats, will ideally want to win it by a sweep. If not, then if Storm get a good enough result, they could actually overtake them either by their game difference or head-to-head. And they can get into the top 4. So it's pretty crazy to see that, Storm, who are currently in 7th, can actually make playoffs as well. But of course, with Storm, they have to have a lot of things go their way for that to happen in this case. So really, at the moment, the main 2 we're looking at is Trinity and Morekats. And so effectively, the winner should make playoffs, but it also depends on how the Storm do against Astro Academy. So, yeah, we've got all the players in, so I think before we jump in, actually, Dennis, I want to get your prediction on this game. Who do you think is going to come out with the victory in this one?
Well, I'm not too familiar with Morekats, and well, of course, I am with Ascension Trinity, and I know that Ascension Trinity had some good weeks behind them. I think they did some good work against SSCA, won against them, but yeah, I think because they have some momentum, I think they will be going. Yeah, I would say they will take this stage with 3-1. I think it's not going to be a 3-0 sweep. I think it's going to be 3-1. Morekats will take 1 game, but of course, Faded, because you are playing in the same conference, you're playing in the same division, of course, for retirement home. You played against both of these sides, so I'm going to it's going to be really interesting to see what's your view on it, and maybe could you give a good prediction between both of these teams?
Yeah, because the thing is, I believe both these teams are actually playoff quality sides here. Of course, both of them have had their own struggles, in their own right. Now, to be fair, to play against Trinity, they were with they had Yem instead of Horizon, and even then, I might say some managed to beat them, but they were still decent even with playing when they played with a player who they weren't familiar with. But that was their main roster here. I would have to agree with you on this one and say that Trinity will take the win. Also, it's because if I say Morekats, then Horizon will probably want to kill me for that. But I think it will be a game 5. Actually, I do believe that. I think both these sides are pretty closely matched this one. But in the end, I think the Trinity lads are going to take it.
Well, I guess we have to see. I'll just tell the teams to go, and we can prepare ourselves, of course, for the very last week here between both of these teams. Very last week of league play, and one of these teams, they will drop out. Of course, only the winner are able potentially to go to playoffs. Nothing is sure yet, but finally we can kick off some things here. Of course, Champions Conference 2 Ascension Trinity against Morekats Gaming playoff deciding match. Let's take it away, Faded.
Thank you very much, Dennis. To kick it off with this exciting match here, and it is Horizon. He's going to try to get it started early, but it's off the bar and out. I mean, that was an absolute setter for him, but it will not end up in a goal here. And so early on, Ascension Trinity losing out on a chance as our Jez coming in for another opportunity. Tries to get a shot. Omet gets it away though. Now Pazzi is going to get a demo on Horizon. Allows Omet a bit space to work with Horizon. Puts it down the field. It's going to come off the corner wall. He will need to get out. Jez having a shooting chance. The bump was there as well. Now the shot from Jaffa goes on net, and it is Trinity, deserved to say the least, with the first goal.
Yeah, it has been a very good setup, definitely from Horizon, going for the bump on the goal line and, completely wasting the Morekats Gaming defenders there. And in the end, a good follow-up as well from Jaffa, getting a good shot on target, but definitely Horizon with a really good bump there, mispositioning the defense of Morekats Gaming definitely leaded to that goal. Early start there for Ascension Trinity, and definitely the start I would have hoped for, but straight away it will be Morekats Gaming here equalizing already 1 minute in, 2 goals, 1 goal each, and we really have a game already in game number 1.
Yeah, like Vito is getting the shot he needs, read it off the post, and so caught Ascension Trinity pushing a little bit too hard on that attack, and so Morekats quick to respond here. Of course, the majority German side coming out here, and they will get a goal back as there is Trinity trying to mount another attack. When now it's Morekats coming through. Pazzi launches one towards the back wall. Gaffer will have it out as now the ball lands at the hands of Horizon. Omet gets up to it. A good touch. Here comes Jez. Onto the back once more. And maybe he's going to go for a double tap, but can't dip himself down to get to it. Now Horizon out onto the side, going for another touch. It's going to bounce out. Jaffa now touching it high, and now getting the other one onto the back where Pazzi has that covered. As now Jez still trying to keep this going. Horizon a bit you're cautious not to go for that, and it will prove to be a wise choice indeed. As a Jaffa, not a lot of boost to work with. He does bait in one player though. Now has to try to get past another, but here comes Pazzi. Has a double tap opportunity. Will put it down, but it will bounce off the bar and away, and Trinity do get away with that one.
Yeah, we see a big overcommit coming out of the Morekats Gaming. After the double tap, pretty much all the players went up for that. Well, only one player stayed back, and Ascension Trinity definitely could have done more. Could have got more out of that, definitely a 3v1 situation, but they couldn't get any goal out of that. So, 3 minutes to go, we have seen a lot of pressure coming out of the Trinity side. I have to say, 6 shots against only 2 of Morekats Gaming. So, if the pressure keeps on going like that, if the game stays like this, then of course, in the end, we see Ascension Trinity eventually scoring a goal. But of course, we only half time. Everything could change in this game number 1. Maybe, it's for both teams. A little bit of a warm-up, seeing how the other team is playing, of course, in best of 5 series. But now we see a shot coming in off the cross, but Jess will still clear it out. But yeah, no harm created, no danger created by Morekats Gaming so far in this series. Only they've made that 1 goal straight after the goal of Ascension Trinity. But since then, haven't really seen much from the Morekats Gaming. Now they need to show in defense. Jess will get a shot in, but still getting saved by Livito. And well, Morekats Gaming can be really lucky there to not be 1 behind again.
Yeah, indeed. It was looking so scary. The clearance was so poor, but Livito recovers and saves Jez's shot. So we remain at 1-1, but I must say, even though both teams look quite jittery out the gate, so I will have to say Trinity look like the better side at this rate, but Morekats still keeping themselves afloat here as they're now trying to get themselves back out their own half. And here goes Pazzi, good to the back wall. Now Jaffa misses his clear. He needs to get allow Jez to make that touch, which he will do. Now Jaffa with no boost booms it towards the net. Livito to the corner. Big bump from Omet prevents that chance, and now they will be able to find a clearance off of it. As you see Pazzi again making this challenge, stops that boomer from Horizon. Now Omet attempting a pass to Pazzi, but he was not in position to receive it. Now here comes Pazzi, shot on net. Horizon does get it out into Jaffa. And now we're approaching the 1 minute mark here, as we are seeing Morekats starting to push a little bit more onto the Trinity half. As you do see Jaffa putting another one to the backboard, but Omet will have that one out to the side and will also be able to put it through. And so it's now Trinity looking for an opportunity. Here comes Jez with a shot. Livito with the save to put it away.
So many shots from Trinity, 11 at the moment, and only one single goal. So really the accuracy is not quite there. The defense from Morekats, though, you could say it's pretty decent. Well, now the shots are getting fired, not on goal, though, as we see Omid just clearing that a little bit. Infoot pass just with the shot, and 32 seconds to go. We see Jazz finally getting a goal. He needed 7 shots for it, but finally he's making this second goal for Trinity, and that's good. That could be a vital goal here in this game number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And despite that demo on Horizon, Jaffa was still able to get the ball, find that infield of Jazz, and he could just slam it through. So well done for Trinity. Get us an opportunity. And Pazzi, what on earth is that touch? That's not going to help you at all. And Horizon will be sure to punish. And so it is Ascension Trinity late in this game. They find themselves with now a 2-goal lead, and surely the first game win.
Yeah, touches like that, you can't just make them as third man. It was just Trey in the middle, and we still saw Pazzi trying to recover from that, trying to still get 50 against Horizon, but it was just a little bit too late. After the touch, it was pretty much done already for Pazzi, and he couldn't save it out of the goal anymore. And yeah, well, Trinity up by 2 now, 70 seconds to go. This game looks like it's done and dusted. Everything can happen in Rocket League still, but you know, I think Trinity did really well in this game. They had a lot of offensive pressure, and still Morekats they had, you know, this minute or so where they still made those chances and they still created those chances, but in the end they couldn't score out of it. And you know, in the end it just wasn't enough for Morekats. They just had that little moment. They needed to use it a lot more than they did, and in the end, you know, Ascension Trinity's defense just stopped that, and in the end, the defense of Morekats, well, it was decent, but it wasn't good enough to stop all the pressure Ascension Trinity had in game number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. I must say, Trinity did deserve to win that. You know, they look like the more stable side, you can say. Credit where credit is due. Morekats' defense held up pretty strong, but you know, in the end, they got broken down eventually, and we were just saying it was going to happen. And so for Morekats, you know, they really got to step it up, really, and you know, not allow Trinity so much pressure and as many shots. I mean, you take a look at the difference; it's 13-3 for Morekats. You don't want to give them that much presence in your own half because you're going to be starved eventually, and you can't create any chances for themselves. So when it comes to this next game, they've got a big job to do to keep the Trinity side at bay.
Yeah, a lot of times in series like this, where you know you have in game number 1 a quite dominant side in offense, you usually see, you know, them, you know, slowing down a little bit, and that's really the time for Morekats Gaming to come back from this. This is just the perfect time. You don't want to be 2 games down. If you want to, you know, make something out of this series, you pretty much need to win now. A reverse sweep against, you know, an Ascension Trinity that has momentum in game number 3, it's really hard to come back from that. And yeah, Morekats, they know that. They know they gotta score. They know they gotta have a lot more offensive pressure, a lot more offense than in game number 1. But now we see on the other hand, Ascension Trinity not stopping. Where you know they ended last game in game number 1. They keep on scoring Horizon with a great hit from him, and Vito probably did not see him. And half a minute in, and we already see Ascension Trinity once again in the lead.
Yeah, Horizon is, you know, getting up to that one, slotting at home, and made sure there was no chance for Vito to make any kind of save. So Trinity, just like the last game, getting started early, but his Morekats already back on attack, past the attempted pass to the side of Omid, but was blocked by Horizon again, and Vito with not a lot of boost. He dribbles it straight into the path of Horizon, who now tries to follow up. Here comes Jaffa, now trying to make an infield pass. Vito had to turn on it, but Jaffa's still going in again, as now Omid having a chance. He decides to go solo on this, has Horizon face off against, gets a 50-50 and slots it past. Vito finds the finisher, and it's really quick response again from Morekats here.
Yeah, exact the same as what happened in last game. We see the defenders, you know, not quite in position. Horizon looks like he was a little bit in a backwards rule 1 there with his opponent. But in the end, you know, the Trinity's defense not quite on point there. The positioning wasn't really there, and you know, in the end, Vito could easily just snatch it in past all the defenders of Ascension Trinity. Probably never should have happened, an easy shot like that. But now we see just going for the redirect. Oh my, that's some way to get back in the lead.
Absolutely, Jez, what a touch there, and you could just tell, yeah, the Morekats defenders were caught off guard by that, just, you know, beautifully chipped it over into the top shelf, and that's, as you said, it's quite a way to get yourself back into the lead here, but now this kickoff could be dangerous. Jez, big touch there, he had to get that to prevent a shot, and now with no boost, has to wait for this. Vito comes in, puts it underneath Jez, but Jaffa will be able to get away, but still it is Morekats with pressure. Pazzi trying to get behind the ball there, but inevitably that clear does come through. Now Omit putting it upfield. Here's Horizon, put it into the side like Beetle chips it up, and now here comes Jaffa once more. It's put into the center. Horizon, a good touch there, and really, getting that denied potential shooting chance for the attacking player there from Morekats. And now it's Jaffa trying to touch it back. Here's Jez putting it high into the ceiling. And while Morekats are starting to find control here, they're not really getting many opportunities, but this could be one here as like Vito tries to get across to it, but he has no momentum going into that. He tries to put it to the center, but Jez has that easily covered.
Yeah, and well, something interesting to see. I think all the players from Ascension Trinity, they have the LFT topper, so I don't know what's going on there, but I'm not expecting this to. Well, Omid will just make an equalizer here. It's kind of out of nothing, really. The defense of Ascension Trinity sometimes is just, it all comes out of nothing. Horizon, a little bit pushed up too much, couldn't really get there as third anymore, and approaching half time, and we see an equalized score again.
Yeah, absolutely. Oma getting the equalizer for Morekats now, following up that shot and just slotting it past the post. And so halfway into this game, tied up here, and it is really Morekats now starting to find their groove of this game, as that's a double commit on defense with Trinity, but Vito can't find that touch. It allows the Ascension Trinity defense to reset here. Now here comes Oma trying to get into it, but Horizon, a good follow-up touch down to the backboard. Jaffa gonna try and get it out into Jez. Extends it down the field. Pazzi now trying to get a touch, but Jez does dunk him, and now it's Oma trying to get onto Pazzi, but he jumps a little bit preemptively there, and he won't be able to get up to it. Now Pazzi up once more, beats Jez, the net's open, but the shot's wide. Horizon gets back to it, and now Pazzi with no boost, just trying to slow down the play here. Is there like Vito, not the best touch, but it will do to get past Jez. Goes for the shot. It was off target, but Horizon will make sure it will not go any further than it has to. As counter-attack for Trinity, Horizon, he was going for that demo, and it's out, and now the demo on Jez. He was the third man, but the ball is into the corner, and Horizon will surely have this covered. Maybe not that time, but in the end, he forced a suboptimal touch from the side of Morekats. Now Jaffa, shot on net is going to be put to the side.
Yeah, and I have to say, this game number 2 has been so dead even. In game number 1, we saw really dominant Assassin Trinity, but Morekats, they really came back, and of course we see 2-2 on the scoreboard, and that's definitely how I would describe this game as well. A lot of action, a lot of goals, and that even game between both of these sides. It's really going back and forth. It's going to the side of Trinity and then to the side of Morekats. It's literally going both sides, and with 1 minute to remain in this game number 2 still, really, it can be anyone's game. Of course, for Morekats, they pretty much need to win this game, so otherwise this journey, this series will be kind of a hard series, and it's going to be really interesting and really hard as well to still make playoffs if they're going to lose this in the game number 2. But it's not over yet, definitely. They still have all the chance of the world to take this game number 2. Definitely if they score here, now Omid will put on target, but Jaffa will save it this time. And really, the Ascension Trinity side have a lot more to do in defense in game number 1, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. You can tell Morekats are more on the pace now, but it's the Trinity defense of holding up very strong. And it's got to be a question of, when will they break? And at the moment, it seems to be like never, as now it's Trinity on attack. Jez trying to get this one to center again. Pazzi, not the best touch. He lays it off for Jaffa, but his shot is off the mark. Now, 10 seconds to go. It is Morekats struggling in defense. Jaffa rifles one towards the net. The save can't be made, and it is a late goal here for Ascension Trinity. Just 7 seconds to go, and Jaffa comes up clutch here.
Yeah, we've seen him making so many shots, firing so many shots on the net of Morekats, and this time finally one falls in. And it's really Jaffa. He goes for a lot of those shots, just firing the shots, trying to test the defenders. And one of those times it works, and what a time to let that happen with a few seconds before the game is over, before you go to OT. But no, you just scored the last one. You just scored the decider, and Ascension Trinity up by 2 games now, and on the verge of clean sweeping Morekats Gaming. And of course, if Ascension Trinity wins the next game, they will be going to playoffs. That's definitely going through their minds. If they win here, they will be really, really happy. Then, I know from the guys, they did not expect to make playoffs. And of course, they're not there yet. They still need to win, at least one of the games still in this series. But yeah, Morekats Gaming, they came back really well. I think they definitely played better than game number 1. They were a lot more in offense in game number 1 as well. And in defense, They were, you know, a lot more in game number 1. In game number 2, not really. And in game number 2, we have seen them getting a lot of shots as well. And yeah, Ascension Trinity, it's really, you know, they played quite well. And I think, you know, in the end, how Ascension Trinity was playing game number 2, if they keep the offensive pressure, I think they can really take the game number 3. But Morekats Gaming, definitely a better side from them in game number 2. So let's see, can they keep the momentum, Ascension Trinity, or will Morekats Gaming, just playing game number 2 compared to game number 1, be a little bit better?
Yeah, let's find out here, as it is already Morekats getting a shot on net. Pazzi being denied by Jaffa, and so, as you said, Dennis, of course, Morekats, they have started to improve throughout the series, and of course, late in that last game, they did concede, but this one is far from over still. Whilst Trinity lead by 2, still Morekats have everything in them to bring it here, but it's got to be clean from here on out, as it is a chip up from Omit into Pazzi. What can he do with this? Not a lot. Horizon going to try to take his time out the corner. Gonna get it past Vito, finds a 50-50, might just go in, it will do so. End-to-end shots here coming in from Horizon.
Yeah, now really, it's going to be a really hard touch for Morekats. Of course, it's very early on in this game, number 3, but of course, 2 games up for Ascension Trinity and Morekats. Well, there's not really some way you want to concede here in this game number 3. Just a 50-50 from Horizon. And it just falls in, really, not what I would have expected. Horizon going for a second, but this time it will be saved by Omid. And already early on in this game, we see Ascension Trinity really trying to get a second goal and already getting themselves a really good lead in game number 3.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's been the sort of this series. They'll be the ones to open up the gates in every game, but now Morekats, they want to try and bring it back as early as they can. They're the ones to back foot at the moment. It's a good pass to Omid. A shot from Pazzi. He was going for the top left, but it is off the bar and away. And now they will have to reset here. Omid trying to control this. He does do it well enough to allow Pazzi to get it. Now Pazzi can get past Jez as well, forces Horizon now, and they're slowly but surely pushing into the strength they have now. Vito into Omid, onto the backboard. Vito trying to follow it up, but now he gets a big touch there, tries to go infield for Omid, but he rotated out of the play, and so another chance slips from the guys of Morekats. There's Jaffa popping it high. No one can follow it up though. And it is Morekats. They're starting to gain some ground in this game, but those shots are just not hitting the mark at the moment. Maybe they can have another chance here, but Horizon gets a good touch. Vito now with another chance. Horizon dies across again, and Jez will be able to clear it out once more.
Yeah, the defense of Ascension Trinity fights on this game number 3. Already 5 saves. They're not even off time. It's only been 2 minutes. Already 5 saves for Ascension Trinity. It just shows how strong the Ascension Trinity's defense has been in this game number 3. And that's also really what's needed. Ascension Trinity only have 1 single shot. And we see Morekats with, well, I want to say 8 shots. Make that 9 now. And yet another save. Well, rather a block there from Ascension Trinity to prevent that ball going into the goal. But really, that's been really Morekats Gaming with all the offense, but the defense of Ascension Trinity has been staying strong. And well, Morekats need to score in the upcoming 2.5 minutes at least once to get this game to overtime. But well, as of yet, really the defense has been strong from Ascension Trinity, but now a shot coming in from Jazz, but it will be saved by Vito. Miss there from Jaffa. Leaves a little bit of space for Morekats. Morekats, can he carry something out of this? There will be a shot on net, and it will be going in as well. Finally, they can get the equalizer they really needed, and Pazzi will be the one who gets it for Morekats.
Yeah, at the end, it was Jez pushed a little bit too far to third man. As long as he could get past him, it's an open net. And Jaffa, no matter what effort he makes there, he's not going to be able to make it back in time. So after what seems like a long time, it is the equalizer here for Trinity, but they're dying to get back into this game. Jez trying to find that shot off the mark, and now it's Pazzi trying to get past Horizon, but Horizon, he stands his ground there. They're waiting for the shot, this one being saved across the box. That was such a dangerous clear, but it does work out for the side of Morekats, and now it will be Jaffa from the corner. He doesn't get contact. Horizon to come in, but that does take 2 players out of the play. It's just Jez on his own. He does make the save of Pazzi, getting another shot. Jaffa saving it. And now 2 players up for Trinity. A bit of panic coming out, but Jez will be able to keep things under control for now. Now diving in for another play, Vito gets it past 1. He's got some bursts of work where he tries to get it into the box. Actually bumps Jaffa and went for Horizon 2. And now we're approaching the final minute very shortly, Dennis. And it's another bump again, double commit from Ascension Trinity. Morekats are putting everything into this game right now, and Trinity are, currently stepping up to the challenge, but you gotta think, how long can Trinity survive this Morekats onslaught for?
So yeah, Morekats, they're really fighting so hard. They really want that playoff spot, and it's going through their heads right now. They're making so many shots. How can we finally score a goal? I'm sure they would really be thinking, like, we can't lose like this, right? At this moment, 40 seconds to go, it's one each, and so many shots. The ball pretty much hasn't been on the side of Morekats, and when it has been, of course, Ascension Trinity scored out of that. Well, I think even that goal came out of their own half from Ascension Trinity from that 50 from Horizon. So yeah, definitely that's been really the game for Morekats Gaming, but they just can't get the ball past the defenders of Ascension Trinity. Really, the brick walls of Ascension Trinity doing a great job, and with 20 seconds to go, now we see them in the offense actually trying to create the decider against the run of play, against the ult. So we see Jazz popping the ball off the back wall. It will be getting cleared out, and well, faded. This game might be going to an OT unless one of these teams can score, but then it's going to be really the task for Morekats to score, because otherwise it will be Ascension Trinity taking this series with a sweep.
Yeah, and it's a really dangerous ball potentially, but it's dropped to the ground. I just want to mention how much pressure Morekats have had. 14 shots to 3 as we go into overtime, and only one goal to show for it. But it could be the one that puts this Trinity through the playoffs, but Jez saves it there. And so this overtime is going to be so intense. And Morekats are dying to get this goal. They've had so much pressure. They're putting their heart and soul into this. But still, they're not able to get the win just yet to keep themselves alive in playoffs. It's like Vito, that's such a dangerous shot. He needs to follow it up. It is just enough. You get to past Horizon. And now it is the infield from Jaffa into Jez. Good block from Live Vito again. Now Horizon up for it to the back wall. Here comes Pazzi now. Finds himself with a little bit of space. What can he do with it? And he wants to go for a flick, but Jaffa has him blocked off. Now Omit onto the backboard again. And you see Trinity a little bit discombobulated in defense there, but he will get it out. Now Pazzi, not the best clearance. Omit needs to get up to it. The drop from Horizon. Jaffa does not decide to push for that, and that was a wise decision there. Does not want to commit a Stormman in that situation. As now Pazzi going to take out, has the flick reset. Jets with the shot on net. Omit though will be able to get it away.
Yeah, I can remember just saying, like, all right, if we make playoffs, that would be nice, but we're not expecting it. Well, lad, you're just one goal away from making Champions League playoffs, and of course, Morekats know that this is their last hope. They need to make a goal, and they've tried so hard in this game, and it just wouldn't work. But now we see us as a Trinity creating some shots, creating some offense in this overtime. Really, so far that's been Trinity in this overtime, and not much Morekats has done in this overtime, really, and they're really struggling now against the Trinity side. In regular time, it's really been Morekats putting all the offense and just really making Ascension Trinity's defense work. But this time, it's really been Ascension Trinity in the overtime, creating a lot of offense. Well, now the other side will be Live Vito trying to get a shot in. It will bounce back, as we will be seeing Passy putting it in the corner. It's not enough yet to get a goal. Just popping up to Jaffa. Jaffa trying to create a shot. The infield pass with Horizon. Nearly worked out, but it was just not enough. Trinity really with all the offense in OT though.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been the ones in the driver's seat so far in this overtime. And then they have another chance for Rice and Jaffa. They're both up for that, but the shot well off target. I know as Morekats, they need to get out, but you can tell they're definitely starved to boost. They have to find a big clearance to relieve this pressure. As now there's two players on that again. Here comes Jez going for the shot. It's on the bar, going for the double tap. He can't land it. And now it's Pazzi to make a counter attack. Jaffa gets the sort, slows it down. Now Live Vito up against Horizon. It's into the ceiling. Here's Pazzi once more, but he's beaten out by Horizon. Now Omit, not a lot of boost. Jez going to get to it. It's going to drop down. Live Vito can get to it. He does a good clearance. Now Pazzi up against Horizon. He's going to go for this double tap, but he won't be able to reach that. Here goes Live Vito for the finisher. But what a save from Jaffa to keep us alive. There's 3 minutes in, Dennis. My word, this overtime has been mental. So Jaffa, he comes for the finisher, but it's off the post. Horizon, the finisher, maybe. But again, it is wide, and we will still keep on playing. Morekats hanging on here by a thread. And it's not a very thick one like that. They are just barely holding on to their playoff hopes. This is off the bar again. I don't believe this. Horizon and the boys just can't catch a break in offense, and we will still keep on going.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how many times they already hit the post with the bar. Now Jaffa going for the shot, missing the ball this time. really, Ascension Trinity, they had so much offense and they had so much chances as well to secure this game, but now it will be falling off the ball. And it will be going, okay, it will be going in this time, but Omid will just decide this game. I thought for a second Ascension Trinity just got away with this. Jazz could clear it away, but not the best clear from him, to be honest. 3 minutes 46 in this OT, and will be Morekats fighting back in this series between Trinity and themselves.
All right, Dennis, I don't know what to say about that, because that is, you know, the most intense game of Rocket League I've seen in, you know, in quite a while, you know, at this level. I mean, so many chances, so many times you think, right, that's it, that's a goal, you know, game over, GG's, well done, Trinity. And then it's like, oh, wait, they've hit the bar again. And then probably the most messy goal as well to secure it. I mean, you know, both those teams, they get away with murder. Let's just say that. But in the end, it is Morekats getting a win, so we're going to keep on playing. We've got quite a series on our hands here, and I don't know, you know, what the series could bring us next, but all I can say is that both these teams are playing, you know, seemingly at their best right now. Of course, Morekats did fall off the pace a bit in that overtime, but now they've got a fresh game here, and now the playoff hopes are still alive. But Jaffa, oh my, that was quite dangerous. But game 4, let's see how this will go.
Yeah, this is going to be a really important one, of course, for both teams. Of course, if Morekats win, then they take a lot of momentum going into game 5, going for the reverse sweep. And of course, if Trinity wins, they will be winning here this series, and we're going to playoffs. And Jaffa will definitely try to let it happen. Already 19 seconds in, of course, last game, we have seen a 3 minutes 46 overtime, where Trinity just couldn't score the chances. But this time, the first chance they are having, and Jaffa will just slot it in.
Yeah, and really, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Omid that had to make that clearance, but he rushed the aerial bit, and he didn't have the you know, the angle to make that touch that he needed. So, and that's what really granted Horizon that touchdown into Jaffa to secure it. So it's early days. Trinity getting the first goal, just like many of our other games in this series. You know, Morekats, again, they're the ones that have to respond. They have to make the next move to get them back in the game, but it is Trinity still on the attack. Here comes Horizon, a center once more, Livito up for it, and it's maybe a bit of contrast in how they're playing as Jaffa center to the bar. Once again, Morekats really starting to struggle on the defensive end, and you can tell Trinity have actually, you know, put things up a gear. They're the ones that really couldn't find much in that last game, at least in regulation, but this time they're playing a lot more aggressive and keeping Morekats at bay. As Morekats are really struggling to get this ball out of their own half, as Jez has a shot off the mark, and it is off the mark once more, so Jez attempts to follow it up.
Yeah, just he had so many chances also last game to secure that game number 3, I think it was, and this time he also had a chance, but this time it will not be scored by him. We see a lot of pressure though coming from Ascension Trinity, and really just a reverse game compared to last game. Of course, then we saw Morekats with a lot of pressure, but this time it will be Ascension Trinity with a lot of pressure, but this time also Ascension Trinity are actually able to score.
Yeah, indeed. Nicely done from Jez off the bounce. Does get to end, and really it's a case of no one is covered in net, no one's back post to stop that shot. The two defenders were just really on top of each other, and really you just, you know, if they're going to say that they're going to have to pre-jump it or something, that was just a, you know, hell of a situation for Morekats. So Trinity now get themselves up again. It is Jaffa bar down to make it 3. And you can tell Trinity after that last game, they have found the momentum, they found their groove, and they are starting to run away with it.
Ascension Trinity 3 minutes away from becoming top, well, 8 from Champions Division. Of course, they will be going to playoffs if they win this match. 3 minutes away, and for Morekats, of course, they only have 3 minutes now to make at least 3 goals against, you know, an Ascension Trinity that has been defensive very, very strong. You saw that in last game. Pretty much brick walls in net, and it's just so hard to pass them. And well, definitely Morekats Gaming, they need to try to do something to break those brick walls, because they need at least 3 goals. Maybe this will help. Infield pass to Livito, and it will be Morekats Gaming coming back in this game number 4.
Yeah, they do get one back here. You see Paz, a good dribble there, and managed to chip it just barely past Jaffa, and Livito does secure it. So Morekats starting to come back as this game. Maybe they got over half the game, but as he said, Dennis, it's going to be a tough task because, you know, the defense of Trinity has been fantastic in this series so far. And so I imagine it's going to take something extra special for Morekats to get back into it, but that is a big demo. And where's the follow-up? Here's Omid to make the shot perfectly placed behind the defender. And oh boy, this comeback could be coming quicker than we at first thought.
Well, yeah, I've said that, you know, Ascension trains in the brick walls and defense pretty much not passable, but this time, you know, we see in this game 2 shots from Morekats and both went in actually, approaching half time, and Ascension Trinity with a 3-goal lead will make that one now in not even 1 minute. It's completely wrapped around. Well, of course, Morekats, they still need that single goal to tie it up. Well, it's not going to be tied up as Horizon at the other side will make it 4 for Ascension Trinity, puts back the 2 goals deficit, and well, again, you know, it's not the best hit from Vito, just getting it into the middle. And, well, we just over half-time, Ascension Trinity take the 2-goal lead back again.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about not the best hit. That hit was far from optimal. You can tell what Vito wanted to do. He wanted to get a lot of power on that send in the field, but really, there's that. If you have that little power on it, it's not going to do anything for you as Jez comes in to put the lead back to 3. But now, with 2 minutes left, is Morekats back down to 2-goal deficit. But it's a breakaway chance. Jez, huge block there. He had to get that, but still, Morekats having an opportunity. Here goes Omid for the finisher. Jez, yet again, making the defensive efforts work out for him. Keep his team up too, as now it's like Vito looking for that double touch off the back when Omid pre-jumped it strangely, and now it's Jaffa down the field. No boost to work with because like Vito needs to beat out Jez here. He does do so. Now has Horizon to deal with. But Jez from the heavens does get a touch again. And now Omid gets it down on Horizon, but it won't matter. Jaffa has possession here. Now 90 seconds, Dennis. It's really crunch time here as they pass it. He needs to land a shot, but Horizon, another quality block there.
Well, yeah, I've said, you know, Morekats, they need to score when they're 3 goals down. Well, 2 goals down now, 1.5 minutes to go. Well, even 1 minute and 20 seconds. And while the time is really the biggest enemy for Morekats now, not even the defense anymore like it was last game, but now it really is the time. The time is ticking, the time is going down, and approach the 1 minute mark, and we still see Ascension Trinity putting up the offensive pressure, definitely what they should do right now. But Morekats, they need to get a goal really fast to at least send this game to, or send this series to a game number 5, and well, they will just see what happens next. But all they gotta do now is just score those 2 goals. And it's just so hard to score against this Ascension Trinity side, but Morekats Gaming, they just needed more of that offensive pressure. 2 of those shots in this game number 4 got in, actually got scored by both of the players of Morekats. And well, right now we aren't really seeing Morekats in the offense anymore. They really need to try to get that offense going. Now we see the ball going towards the side of Ascension Trinity. It will be wide though, in 30 seconds to go, and Ascension Trinity only 30 seconds away from playoffs.
Yeah, indeed, and now it's a chance for Morekats here, but they got to really score now. But boost is proving to be a problem here. Once, you know, they can't get extended pressure seemingly at the moment, as this shot going towards the net, but Horizon, easy save for him. Levito trying to get into the side, and now the final 10 seconds of the game, you know, they got to score on this attack and then off kickoff, but I think that is it. Trinity have done enough, and it will be Ascension Trinity to claim the 4th and final playoff spots. Morekats do fall here, but my word, what a series that was. But in the end, Trinity do come out here. The LFT gang will be through to the playoffs, and that's where they will have their final, you know, matches with each other in that part of the competition.
Yeah, well, Ascension Trinity, I can't say anything more than, you know, that I'm a proud coach. You know, at the beginning of the season, they were really struggling. They had some, well, they had 2 forfeit wins, I believe. But, you know, they were not confident at all that they would make playoffs. It was definitely not the goal they had. You know, they want to finish, you know, somewhere mid-table, at least avoid relegation. And well, they just made playoffs, and it's really good to see them playing so well against Morekats Gaming, having that much offensive pressure, how important that is. We have just seen that in that series, and they've done incredibly well. They've done a really good job, you know, making playoffs as well. Here in the Champions Conference too, I remember the OG Ascension in Season 1, where they were sticking in Division 3. I think Jazz played in that as well, and weren't having the best results. And well, look at Jazz now. He's in the Champions Conference, made playoffs, so he has made an incredible development over the past few seasons in the ECC. Of course, really good to see. Of course, Jazz being an OG member, you know, developing himself so well. And at the moment, playing, you know, the best of the best, being here in the Champions Conference, to being at least in 4th place, top 4 secured, and we'll be going to playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. So that rounds out the top 4 of Champions Conference 2. So it's Magma Gaming, Retirement Home, Crystal Gaming, and Ascension Trinity. And they'll be advancing to the Champions Division playoffs here. So yeah, well done to Ascension Trinity on making it. Of course, Morekats, tough luck for them. You know, in this last game, they played their hearts out, but it's just not enough. But it was fantastic to watch them play. And that does it for this evening. We have our Champions Conference 2 playoff teams decided from tonight, and you know, it was a fantastic evening overall. 4 matches in here. It's been a long stream, but I hope you all enjoyed yourselves here. I know I did so myself. Dennis, do you want to say anything else before we sign off here?
No, really, it was a pleasure to cast with you always, of course. I've casted before the Division 4 matchup, and of course this matchup as well. There's been incredible matches, definitely this one, where of course Ascension Trinity takes down Morekats game with 3-1 if you've just tuned in. Ascension Trinity in this playoff decider match as well, going to playoffs now, so you know, really happy with the boys, really happy for the boys. And you know, let's just see what they will bring in playoffs.
Yeah, we will. So that will do it for us today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure, and we hope to see you guys again this weekend. We'll hope to have another stream or two. And of course, yeah, we hope to see you all again for those streams. Of course, we want to thank our sponsors, Gedalians, as well, for sponsoring us this season. We couldn't have put on prize pool here for our top division without them. But apart from that, that's all we have. So thank you all once again for watching, and we'll see you guys again next time. Have a good night.
And it's coming now and now and now and now and now and never. I was putting in the
Can you feel it? The fire in your soul, leaping at the chance for love. Can you feel it? Haunting your senses, letting all your feelings go. But I can feel it.